This is possibly my end game tamper. You've probably heard of it. It's called the Force Tamper. It doesn't necessarily make my espressos better, but it can. So about the Force Tamper, it won the 2017 Red Dot Award, and I'm pretty sure it came out around that time. To my knowledge, this is unique on the market. There's no other competitor that has anything remotely close to them. I don't know if they have a patent on it actually. It's unique on the market and it's justified by its high price tag. And unlike other tampers in its price category, has a very unique mechanism, which we'll get into a little bit later. To my knowledge, there has been no redesign in this because they just did a good job with the mechanism and the engineering that I guess there was no need for it. So it's just that the top here is a silver piece and then the bottom here is a silver piece. The current one is a whitish piece that's on the top. It's just aesthetic. It comes in this cute little packaging. In it, it has like a little seal. I don't really know if that's necessary, but there is a little seal and a certificate to prove that it's passed QC. And a cute little velvet Force Tamper baggie. I don't know why all these coffee accessories come with velvet baggies. I guess because us espresso people are fancy, but it does. And then you have some literature in English and Chinese. Oh, and I think Korean as well. Japanese perhaps as well. Yes. 4 different languages. It is from the Rising Force Kitchens from China. A lot of great things are made in China, and this is proof of one of them. It also comes with this little rubber mat, so you can always put it right here. I put it in my wood stand, so I don't need it. It comes in different sizes and handles. I have the jelly handle. This is probably the one that you see everywhere, a wood, and I've seen it also with a black finish. There's also the triangle, the ball, and then for the bases, you have the flat, you have ripple, you have waffle, you have convex, concave, you have flat D or D flat. There's many variations that you can buy, and you can also buy different handles and bases aftermarket should you change your mind or want to change it up without having to change the entire thing. I'll leave all those links in the description for you. You might be wondering, what is a D flat? It is music, but also in this case, there is a bar in the middle so that the 2 circles look like a D on each side. What it's supposed to do is act as a distributor so that you can twist it as you're pushing down very lightly before pushing fully down to have the full tamping effect. It also comes in 58.35, 58.5. I've also seen it in 53, 54 millimeters. I have the 58.5 for my Breville dual boiler. It fits really great. For features, there is self-leveling because there's this outer ring right here that sits on the top of your portafilter, and this piece down here is what goes into your portafilter to flatten your basket levels, because there's no tilting that can happen if you have this well seated on your portafilter. This tamper is factory set at a pressure of 10 kilograms and 22 pounds. You can adjust it. I've left it factory set. To change the calibration, simply unscrew the top off. Then you could use this right here to turn. Now there's no marking, so you won't be able to go back to the factory reset 10 kilograms, 22 pounds. If you want to, I would suggest maybe marking with a permanent marker where the reference point is so you don't lose it. If you do 1 full turn clockwise, a full rotation to the right will increase the pressure by 1 pound. Conversely, the other way around, if you were to anti-clockwise on the left to loosen it, so righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, 1 pound in the other direction. You don't really need 30 pounds of pressure to have a good amount in your puck. That's been debunked. You need enough, significantly enough to have good pressure. What's more important is even consistent pressure. So what makes the Force Tamper different from everything else that's on the market? This tamper generates an impact punch instead of a manual static force. The generated impact punch from this inner piece is the same every time, so it ensures a consistent tamp. There are 2 springs, so when the first spring is pushed enough to that desired pressure point, then it triggers a push at 10 kilograms, 22 pounds. It's very easy to push. You actually don't need to put a lot of force on it to get it to tamp. Now, what is the generated impact punch versus a manual static force? Well, my old tamper, for example, this push tamper, It also sits on the portafilter, and there's just a spring in here. This is not calibrated. So when you push it in, much like a regular tamper that you would just push, the force that's being pushed down onto the puck is the exact force that I'm pushing down at the exact moment. Is slow and steady, and the speed varies, whereas the Force Tamper is abrupt and consistent. Now, a calibrated tamper is a tamper that looks similar to this, but it clicks at a certain point because it's reached enough pressure when you've pushed it into the puck. Depending on the dose and the amount of coffee that you have in the puck, the amount of pressure will vary. Now, does it really have an impact on your coffee? Does it really make a difference? Probably not, to be honest. Maybe, but even if it does, probably very insignificant. If there's issues with your coffee, it's probably it. Many other things like the grind setting's not correct, or maybe you need to distribute your coffee a little bit better. You need to do a better job at puck prep. It could be a lot of things. It's probably not the actual tamper that you're using. There's so many different tampers you can use if you have the right technique, or if you have a good tamper that's self-leveling like this. But will a Force Tamper be consistent every single time and be one less variable to think about? Yes. Now for complaints. With great power comes great responsibility, in that you must clean it from time to time. Because what will happen is that there'll be some fine powder that will accumulate between the leveling plate and the base. There's a little bit of coffee that will get trapped in here. That wasn't a problem on this tamper, but this tamper didn't have that type of force, whereas this one, there's that impact punch onto your puck, and because of that, a little bit of coffee will fly up and get caught in here. That's probably the biggest complaint that you're gonna see online from people. And when I mean the biggest, the only complaint. People are not really up in arms about it. It's just how the device works, and I'm not really sure if that could be reduced. All you have to do is bring it over your counter, blow the coffee off of the base, or take a brush and just, or even your finger, and just clean it off. The other thing is, because of that force, you may need to secure the leveling plate onto your portafilter when punching. It's very easy to do, because sometimes if not, you'll notice that it moves because there's just so much power that's getting pushed into here. So if you just want to secure it, just put your finger here when you're tamping. In terms of price and shipping, this costs about $177 USD. I paid just about $250 Canadian, and I didn't have any duties and taxes to pay. Your mileage may vary, so I don't want to guarantee anything, but it cost me pretty much just $250 exact Canadian, which is I'm very happy about. A little bit cheaper than I found elsewhere. This is a coffee shop on AliExpress that I have purchased a few coffee items from. Excellent customer service, has like 99.2% rating. They were very responsive. They said they deal with the Force Tamper manufacturer directly. So they're one of the salespeople, I guess, for them. Prices probably fluctuate, so check the link in the description for the current prices. It said it would take up to 2 to 3 weeks for delivery. In fact, it took just over a week from when I ordered. It took 8 days, including the weekend, to ship and get to me to the east coast of Canada. So why get one if I'm making perfectly great coffee with my other tamper? Well, it adds consistency. That's one less variable for you to factor in and think about. It will always be the exact pressure every time, from one puck to the other. The only other tamper I can think of that would do that would be a $1,500 automated puck press. This is a automated manual tamper because you're still manually pushing it, but I don't want to deal with more batteries and things to charge and more things to plug in. It's very small and it's got great engineering. Anyone without any experience could be good at tamping with this. It's one less thing to learn in espresso. It is effortless, it is satisfactory. I don't have to focus to tamp. I can be brain dead, which usually in the morning I kind of am. So it's not like tamping was a lot of brain power, but it's just brainless now, which is great. It's brainless and satisfactory. It's just more automated. And it's kind of an end game tamper. I can't see where I would go up from here. Please don't release something else. I don't want to buy something else. Who would this be for? Beginners to advanced. Basically anybody that is into espresso, that has the budget for it, and or wants to remove a variable from their espresso routine, or doesn't want to learn technique for tamping. It's also really good for people with physical limitations because it is effortless to push in and you have to exert so much less force to push it down. I would say like half less energy, maybe even more. It's quite effortless. I feel like I could do it with one finger. Even at a cafe level, I feel like this would be great for that. I'm not sure if it is designed for commercial use like that, but it seems very well engineered, and they said you can push it many, many times. I kept asking them if I need to have any springs or can I get spring replacements, and they kept telling me, no need for spring replacements. This was speaking with the reseller and Force Tamper directly. When I was on forums reading other people's thoughts and opinions on this tamper before buying it, pretty much everybody said, no, you don't technically need it, but do they regret buying it? No. Do they love it? Yes. So that's the same boat I'm in. You don't need it. But now that I have it, I certainly do not want to go back. I don't really know if I want to try other tampers. I've seen other tampers out there and everyone has their preference, but this is just so great. I love it. You can make fantastic espresso with this, but you still need to get all the other parts of your espresso routine right. You need to puck prep properly. You need to dial it in properly. Is it satisfactory and removes a variable from your whole espresso routine? If you do want another tamper, you can check out my video right here for this tamper, the spring push tamper. If you want a little bit of guidance on what all the different features of tampers are in general, you can watch this video right here. I'll leave all that, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.